This is a quick video on sharing an issue I have just discovered in the final checkout and everything for this engine. I had made numerous mods and changes, make sure everything fits, can be taken apart and put together easily. It can. And I just come across something. I was having trouble with my rear truck bouncing on me or kind of getting caught somehow and then causing a derail of this truck. And what I found was my clamp for my harness came back too far. As you can see, there's a overlap of about 3 millimeters or more, and if it gets into a turn and it needs compliance, it doesn't have it. It cannot come down at all, very much at all. That is, if the nose rises, the back will not be able to come down. It will lift the wheels up. It will be on the front wheel and the rear truck, and we can't have that. So I've loosened the other side. I've pushed it back what I think I needed to have a good clearance, so this thing can go up and down and pivot the way it needs to, and that cost me 7 millimeters. Right here, we're looking at a kick out of about 5.5 millimeters, kicking out more or less by its lonesome, with the harness then sticking out and going to the tender. But now, with this required change, you'll see it's sticking out almost 14, and from where it was, it's an additional 7 millimeters back, and it's very disappointing. I mean, it makes good the room for the truck to be pivoting and do, but I really can't grind the truck itself because that's the support bar that goes across, and you don't want to thin that out. That would weaken the whole truck. Now, it's just decorative. I know it's not holding the load, but it's not what you want to do. I've cleaned out all the other bumps that were in the way. In fact, I thought it was hitting the top. What I found out was it was hitting over here. So with the top out of the way, it has plenty of room to move up. So then that leaves me with exposed cable here, which I don't mind too much. You won't really see it. If you're going around, you're not going to see it. The ash pan kind of covers it more or less. And then it comes out here. It's going to continue to come out of here like this and just go back to the tender. And I can extend this plastic here, so you'll just see this side of plastic. You'll just see more of this coming out from here. I'll take it back 7 millimeters, and that's what you'll see, and it'll be a line. But then from the top, you'll see the cable connector and the wrapping. I mean, I don't have any way to cover it unless I pull back the ash pan, pull it back some and cover that up. Doesn't really do anything, doesn't really take away or add anything other than make this back in. But now what we're doing is, because of all of this, we're now pushing the tender further away. So we can keep this line close, but what happens if you start pushing all this back, even if you pull this back, to match, now you're going to have a big gap between the roof line and the roof line. And that's for me, that's a problematic thing. I don't know. Now I'm getting nervous about the whole thing. Maybe what I could do is get by with a shorter, oh, but I have the connector. I'd have to get a shorter connector is what that amounts to, because the connector is 14. So it needs that full length to hide both, because there's two pieces that plug together and they're both 7. Okay, well, continue to wrestle with that. But it's cost me 4 o'clock, cost me most of the afternoon. I thought I was making great progress. I've been checking off my list, you know, dinka, fixing the pieces, printing new parts for the other engines that need them. I did a lot of whittling and grinding here, but this was an earlier part, and it did not. I do it now, but I didn't here, so I did it anyway. Manual updates in some cases. Sorry, these are, you know, pre-production prototypes, but they're, you know, fully functional, and they work with all the production parts that do things. But the static stuff like plastic, they might have extra holes or grind marks or whatnot. That's just where I'm at. Pardon me. Anyway, I'll keep going. I'll see what I can do. And now I'm caught. I have to find a shorter connector. Excuse me. Gotta find a shorter connector if at all possible. All right. I'll report back when I know more later.